It's my absolute pleasure and honor to be here with Mr. Saurabh Ganguly today. He is someone who needs no introduction. From his Test debut in 1996, the famous Test debut where he made 131 runs in Lords, to being now the president of BCCI. He is a very accomplished gentleman who has evolved from being a sports person to a very able administrator. Thank you so much, Mr. Ganguly, for being here with us today. It's an absolute honor and privilege. Let me start by asking you one question. You've evolved so much as a sports person to become an able administrator. What is it that kept you going? Because from the outside, one assumes that sportsmen don't have to evolve. But in your case, you've continuously evolved and grown as a person. Would love to hear your thoughts on how you've managed this.
I think with time your mind changes, and it's also about opportunities. Once I finished playing in 2013, I got an opportunity in my own state cricket association to take the responsibility. It was run by a very established and a renowned administrator, Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia, and then I came over. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2015, and then the entire responsibility came on me to look after the sports in that part of the world. I kept doing that. Then I spent 5 years there, and then got the opportunity to lead BCCI. I think a lot of it depends on how much you are able to shoulder responsibilities. Because leadership is very important in every aspect of life. Whether you're a sportsman, I started as a young player and then went on to become captain of India in the year 2000, 99 2000, and then captain till 2006. So I was used to taking responsibilities. I was used to leading under pressure. I was used to delivering under pressure. And from that point of view, maybe people had faith in me that you know he's capable enough to do the leadership roles in other aspects as well. And you learn everything in life. It's not that you come ready made with everything. When I started as a player, if anybody would have told Saurav you'll captain more than 200 games for India, I would say, oh, you must be joking. But I did that. With every day you learned, every day you adapted. And it's the same thing with administration. You adjust, you learn, you share, and most importantly, you require the ability to take decisions, because decision making is important. A lot of us fall into the prey of letting things drift, as they say in sport. But a good administrator, a good leader takes decisions on the spot. It may not be right all the time, but if you have faith, and if you believe that you're capable of doing things, majority of your decisions will be right.
I think that's great advice. That continuously keep learning, keep adapting, and keep taking decisions. Mr. Kangli, if you could go back in time, what is advice A you would give yourself if you could turn back to 1996? And B, for the younger generations today, what do you think are the two or three most critical skills they should have?
I think for me, the first and most important skill which you need to grow in your professional world is your desperation to succeed. And I'm talking about sport. When you play at the top level, you obviously come with that skill. You come with that skill to perform at the top level. But the best in the business and the best to survive for a long period of time are desperate to succeed and do very, very well. I think that is very, very important. Secondly, it's very important to be honest to yourself. Honest to yourself in terms of where you are heading, how good you are, and what you need to be at your best at the top level. That is very important. And thirdly for me is your as I said, desperation, honest, and how much you work hard. There are very few people who are born with inborn abilities, inborn talent, who see them through. The majority of them work hard to direct their talent in the right direction. So from that point of view, this is very, very important, how much you're ready to grind in everything. There will be ups and downs, there'll be good days, there'll be bad days, there'll be times when you feel that nothing's working, but you need to persist. As you've seen in business, you're such a fantastically successful brand over a long period of time. I'm sure you have your ups and downs too. You ask your father, you ask your grandfather, who've actually built this business on their own with all their sweat and hardships and effort and labor. They will tell you that every day doesn't go the same way. There are good days, there are bad days, and you need to fight through those periods. I think that is very, very important. You don't get things easy, and you should not get things easy in life, because then you realize how important it is to you. And once you get it, it's important to understand its value and keep working hard for it.
In your view, what according to you does this generation have today which you didn't have when you started cricket in terms of skills?
I think this generation has enormous exposure. I look at my family, my daughter, what she knows, how much she's exposed to the world at the age of 18, 19. I was not even 25% of that. I think they have this huge exposure to the world, which helps them to learn things. The media, the digital media, the television media have just gone to a different level. It brings you very closer to everything in the world. You can sit in your drawing room and see how a Tiger Woods becomes successful, see how a Pete Sampras or a Rafael Nadal becomes successful, or a Virat Kohli or a Sachin Tendulkar becomes successful. And you try and emulate that. You try and understand how they develop their skills and become successful themselves. So you got so much exposure to all your role models, and how they train, how they work, and how they behave to be the best in the business. I think for the modern day generation, exposure has been enormous, and I think it helps. It also helps them to become fearless, because they realize that things are available at their doorstep, and if they make an effort, and if they're desperate to succeed, as I said, they'll be successful. So they're fearless. You look at this current Indian cricket team. You see the players, the likes of Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya, and some of the young fast bowlers who have come at this level. You just see that when they walk out into the international arena, they're ready. They're not just ready skill wise, but they're ready mentally also, which is very, very important.
Being an Indian cricket player, I would assume, is one of the toughest or one of the most highest pressure jobs in the world. Every action is under such close scrutiny. How did you ever, especially as when you were a captain of the cricket team, I cannot even imagine the kind of pressure one would have to deal with. How did you be the captain and manage it so beautifully?
I think firstly, being a captain was a huge honor. I had the honor and the opportunity to lead India, and for me, pressure, and I think it's the same for you as well, and for anyone. Pressure is something which you have to get used to it. It is a must in your life. You have to find a way to accept pressure. When I finished playing cricket, somebody asked me, when I just finished 2 or 3 months later. He said, "What you miss the most, Saurabh?" I said, I miss that nervousness in the morning at 7 o'clock, when I woke up and I'm getting ready. I'm wearing my track bottoms and getting my shoes ready. I have to go and play a test match. I'm under pressure to perform. I know I cannot afford to fail. I know if I perform well by evening 4:30, I'll be a hero to all the people in the country. So I miss that challenge. I miss that pressure. I miss that expectation every morning. And I think that is something which every individual should learn to embrace. Uh, I you should look at every situation as an opportunity. When somebody said that, what did you feel when you were asked to bat at number 3 in the first test match of your career? For me, it was an opportunity. I had two ways of looking at it. It is, oh God, I am going to bat at number 3 with the new ball against the best fast bowlers in the world. Or I look at it this way: hey, listen, I have got an opportunity at 3 to make a career. And I think that takes off the pressure from you. And you'll realize that once you start living in a pressure cooker situation, your body and mind adjusts to it. Your body and mind starts accepting the pressure, and you start delivering under pressure. And then when you get into a situation where things are not under, you're not under pressure, and everything is smooth, you actually lose that fight and that zeal in you, the strive in you to become the best. So I think pressure for everyone is important. The market pressure for you is important. The pressure of performance for an athlete is important. The pressure of holding on to a place in the national team is very, very important, because it actually gets you to be at your best. Nervousness is good. Somebody asked me that, do you feel nervous? I said, of course, the best in the business has felt nervous. And nervousness actually helps you to become better, play better, and adjust better. So accept nervousness before a game and utilize it positively to help you increase your performance.
No, I think that's a great way of looking at it. When you were playing cricket and when you started captaining the Indian cricket team, at that stage also, how much of your time were you going back and putting into practice? Were you looking at all the matches, how you got out, how do you continuously improve your technique? Or at that stage, you've reached a stage where this is my technique and this is how I play?
Yes, you get to a point that this is my technique and this is how I play, because nobody is perfect. Everybody has deficiencies, everybody makes mistakes, but what you do is you you become better with your own way of scoring runs. I played the cover drive well. There was somebody else at the other end who did not play the cover drive well, played on the onside better than I did, but both of us found our way to score runs. And I think that's very, very important. You have to find a way to adapt your technique and master that technique. Your approach to business, your approach to making motorcycles would be different from another brand's approach of making motorcycles who you compete. But you also have to understand that's the way it is for you, and that's the way you will be successful. So sometimes we spend a lot of time looking over the shoulder and see what the others are trying to do, what is others techniques are, what others manufacturing systems are. Yes, it's important. It's important to be aware of how somebody else is becoming successful, but at the end of the day, the good successful ones make the best of what they have and the best of the talent they possess. And I think that is very, very important.
That's very good to know. If you look at the American system, they have a very well defined sporting environment culture embedded right from junior school, and they pick up their talent from colleges. Do you see India also going down that route?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the way cricket has developed from the grassroots level, the under 15s, the under 19s. I think every other sport will have to. You look at the grassroots programs which football has taken now, the ISL has taken now over the last 4 or 5 years to develop young Indian footballers. Look at badminton. Some of these academies, some of the great former badminton players like Pulela Gopichand and all, they've started producing wonderful champions in that sport, the likes of Saina Nehwal and the others who are so popular in India. It's important to create a system of sport in this country. Create a system where young players start training from a very young age, and they are handheld, they are guided to become one of the best players in the world, and that is going to happen. As I said, India has become a fabulously open country to the world. People look up to India, and I can see it. I can see it. So the exposure is enormous. People are aware. The people want to compete with the world. The people want to beat the Western world in terms of business, in terms of sports, in terms of cinema. They all want to get better. So there's a massive urge in India to compete with the Western world and tell them, hey, listen, we are as good as you are. And I think that's a great sign in the Indian system.
Great. Let me ask you a couple of last questions before we wrap up. Education is something which is very close to my heart, and I believe it's something which you also follow or are very close to education.
Mm.
In your view, what should Indian, either the school system or higher education, what are the changes we should make so that our graduates are more employable?
I think education in our country is a very strong foundation. But as you rightly said, that with time things develop, things change. I think education has to be merged with sports as well. Education has to be merged with overall development of the individual. maybe in films, maybe in artists, maybe somebody wants to be a musician. It should not be books, books, and college all the time, because that's what some of the schools tend to do. Get those young boys and girls to get too much engrossed in books and other sorts of studies. I think holistic and overall development of an individual is very important. I firmly believe that you can do both. You can study, you can play, you can learn music, you can learn art, you can learn dance, and become an overall developed person in your society. Actually, at a young age, our children spend more time with the teachers and their friends than they spend time at home. So I think school has a huge influence on overall development of young boys and girls, and I think they have to be a lot more open. They have to allow the young boys and girls to do what they want to do, to progress with the career they want, rather than putting things on them. I think a lot more openness is required from the educational part of our system.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Ganguly, for taking out time to have this conversation with us.